Of the Planning Commission, if we could all rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Would you call the roll, please? Yeah, it was quickie.
Bobo Faney.
I'm here.
Thomas Jordan.
Here.
John Junko.
Here.
Newton White.
Here.
Dan Schmidt.
Reluctantly here.
Maria Mills Bennett.
Here.
Lance Green.
Is here. Stop, Stan, okay, man? You missed the train, buddy.
Literally.
Can I get a consideration of the minutes from July 27th?
Move to approve.
Second.
Comments? Concerns? Call the roll, please.
Bobo Faney.
Yes.
Thomas Jordan.
Yes.
John Junko.
Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
Dan Schmidt.
Yes.
Maria Mills Bennett.
Yes.
Lance Green.
Yes. All right. Case number BARC 23-0006. A request for a variance of the LDC to reduce the required 165 building setback for a 150-foot communication tower.
Make a motion to approve VARC 23-0006.
Second.
Welcome.
Gwen Perney, planner. This variance is a request from the applicant for setback requirements for a proposed 150-foot tall cell phone tower located within the Eastport Business Park at 4500 Eastport Parkway. This request is similar to a variance request that was approved back in 2020 for a cell tower for setbacks for fall radius. The applicant was able to demonstrate that the tower has a break point where it would fall and not be a complete failure. So it would fall within the lease compound area instead of the full 165-foot fall radius. The applicant demonstrated that there is a need for a cell tower in this area based on coverage and capacity of the other cell towers. It'll be outside, it'll be roughly a mile from the nearest cell tower. And based on the hierarchy of siting requirements, staff found that the cell tower ranked high on that hierarchy, and so staff is recommending approval of the variance for the setback for a proposed cell tower. And I'm here for questions, and the applicant's here for questions.
All right, I'll start. Stan, any questions of staff?
No, not right now.
Newt? No. Johnny?
No.
Maria? Anybody?
Nope, thank you.
No, not
So,
yet.
who's the applicant?
The applicant is the attorney for the Verizon, basically.
Okay, come on up. State your name for the record, please.
Hi, good evening. James Johnston with Schutz & Bowen, 300 South Orange Avenue, Orlando, on behalf of the applicant. I also have Harold Timmons with me with TEP, and we appreciate staff's hard work on the staff report. It's a very thorough staff report, and we're in agreement with it, but here to answer questions if you have any.
I'll start with you, Bo. Anything on for the applicant?
It might understand that that tower has a break point, and in the event of catastrophe, it would break
Yes.
off halfway.
Yep.
Do you know how far out it would fall?
It has a 50-foot radius. It will be designed with an engineered break point to have a 50-foot fall radius.
Okay, yeah, that's the only question.
Tom?
No, I looked through the notes and documentation, and it's there's no residential areas anywhere close within that fall zone, and I think it'll be fine handling the variances. I appreciate it.
Maria?
I've got nothing.
Johnny?
Well, we once had an issue because it was near a school, and this obviously is nothing like that. So I'm okay in this general location. I'm fine.
Thank you.
Curiosity killed the cat and gets me in trouble all the time. But curious question, I don't know, back in the day there was one tower here and one tower there, and everybody put their antennas on the same tower, and I noticed in the documentation for this that you're going to have room on the tower for space sharing. So what's the difference? And I'm trying to understand why we still need these huge towers when all over town I see these bionic telephone poles, is kind of what I call them, that are some type of cell infrastructure apparatus.
Right, well, and that's a small cell as compared to a macro tower. And small cell is meant to fill in some gaps, but the macro tower is what gives you the main coverage, and it extends out, and really is the backbone of the whole system. And so in this particular area, there is a coverage and capacity gap, and so the tower is, they have a search ring. It's an RF designed system, so all the towers work together. The Verizon antennas. This will help offload the other Verizon towers in the area. The closest one's over a mile away, and so this is really needed in this area because of the residential that's around it to help serve that area. That helps create the need. And so again, the needs are all constantly changing based on where development is, where the demand is, and so this is an area where Verizon has determined, it's needed to provide their service.
Okay, so the little telephone pole size ones
Yep.
are kind of just like fillers for a low spot or a
Correct.
bad service area.
Yeah,
which-
or a high, dense area. They're big in urban areas. Because, again, think about it, the higher you go, the larger area you go.
cover.
So, those poles are really meant to just provide very localized help.
Okay, so AT&T needs to put one of those little bionic telephone poles in my neighborhood.
No comment.
Okay, that feels, we still need the big towers
Yes.
every so often, despite having the smaller things that are
Correct.
less intrusive.
Yes.
That's all I had.
Stan?
No, nothing.
Yeah, so you're telling me that when you have structural engineering on a tower like this that is breaking off at halfway up, to what mile an hour is this pole designed for?
I'm going to ask Harold to come up.
I'm just curious, because
Yeah.
you're kind of, here we are in hurricane season again. I want to make sure it's not going to blow in our next neighborhood.
For the record, my name is Harold Timmons. I'm with Tower Engineering Professionals. I think the question was, at what point will the break point come into play?
What's the total height of this tower?
150 feet.
150
150,
feet.
okay.
Yeah. Well, we're going to design the tower based on whatever the wind speed loads are and requirements are for this particular jurisdiction. I don't know exactly what they are, but whatever they are, that's what we'll have to meet in order to even get our building permit. So we'll show that, and that's how it'll be designed. At what actual speed, when will an actual failure occur? I can't really speculate on that. I would imagine it would be above what it's designed for, what the code requires. But as we all know, things happen from time to time. It could be a combination of the wind speed and the amount of equipment that's on the structure that causes it to fail at a slightly lower speed, or it could be the lack of equipment on it that allows it to go well above and beyond what it's designed for, and then it would possibly have a failure.
So you designed this break point to be at the maximum load that this tower would ever hold? Is that correct?
That is, I'm not going to say whether it is or isn't, because I'm not exactly sure. I've never been asked that particular question. All
Well,
I
you
know
think it
is
would
that-
have to be? I mean,
Yes.
if you're going to load it up, it
Well,
could be to the max.
It's structurally designed for, was it 3 or 4? So it's designed to break at that maximum load, because
Okay.
we're going to put 3 or 4 carriers on.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
asking.
that would be it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So,
Can
all
I
right,
ask
thank
a-
you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
So you referred to whatever the statistics are for this area. What is that based on? Is that based on the average reported wind in this area?
That's based on the national codes for designs of structures in the
Miami-Dade
state of
County.
Florida, in every jurisdiction within the state of Florida. We meet the national requirements, and so we'll meet whatever the wind speed requirements are. We'll be working with your building department, and we'll design it, we'll submit structurals, and they will approve it if it's under what's required, and more than likely it won't be a problem, because we always over-design the structures.
How many zones are there in the state of Florida? Do you know offhand?
I couldn't begin with
Okay.
that. But there's a national code.
Right.
No,
We have to
not
meet
for
that
Florida.
national
No,
building.
you gotta meet Florida building
We have
code.
a national, there's a
No.
national building code, and then, yes, I believe Florida and a lot of other jurisdictions adopt large parts of that national code.
It will obviously have to
Okay,
meet the
yeah.
Florida Building
Yeah,
Code,
I-
which has
I
been
understand
adopted by
point,
the
but I wanna make sure we're
jurisdiction.
at maximum capacity,
Yep.
the engineer for
Yes.
maximum capacity, et cetera, so.
That
Whatever
was
your
what I was
building
getting
code
at,
officials
too.
say, that's exactly what we're
All
gonna
right,
do.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right, with that being said, any more questions on this from our staff? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so again, I think that, again, based only solely on where it's located is the only issue that I would say it is okay in this particular case. And again, I think we take these things case by case because, you know, again, if you look at its proximity to just nothing and it's in the woods and Bushman Park and, like I said, if it was in a housing neighborhood, it'd be, or next to Spruce Creek.
Where they want it on Spruce Creek
Elementary, it'd be different, so, all right. Does anybody in the public want to speak to it? Steve, do you want to talk about it? Okay. I have a motion and a second. Can we call the roll?
Bubba Kamey,
Yes.
Thomas Jordan,
Yes.
John Junko,
Yes.
Newton White,
Yes.
Stan Schmidt,
Yes.
Maria Mills Bennett,
Yes.
Lance Green.
Yes. Thank you.
The railroad didn't show up to oppose it.
Yeah.
It's 'cause it's right there.
All right.
You realize that? How
Moving
close
right
it is
along.
to
Let
the,
me
and
go
the
back
railroad
a little.
didn't
Gotta
show
go
up,
back
they
to
ain't
mine.
worried.
Yeah, they don't care.
Okay. Case number PRZA 23-0005. A request to amend the MDA and conceptual plan for the Pavilion Plan Commercial Development. Can I get a
You
motion?
dropped something.
Motion to approve case number PRZA-23-0005.
Second.
Have a motion and a second?
Penelope Cruz Planning. So this proposed amendment to the Pavilion Port Orange Master Development Agreement is to add an additional permitted use for an automated car wash for either lots 1A or 1B, and a conceptual development plan amendment to remove the cross-access drive requirement between the two lots. So in addition to the common shopping center uses that are allowed in the Pavilion Shopping Center, the current MDA also allows for one motor vehicle service center use, and that's already been taken up with the Firestone that's there. So this amendment is to add this additional ability to have the automated car wash on either one of these two lots. So as noted in the staff report, while it's an appropriate use in the shopping center, it is still being limited to just these two lots, so that it's not a use that's available coming in the core or the entrance or the center. It's kind of, we want to keep it over to the side, kind of out of the way of the main shopping center areas. So it's not part of the main focus there. And because of this lot, this vacant lot being located where it's at in the northwest corner of the shopping center, it's not anticipated that it's going to be a prime location for other retail or office uses. So it would be an appropriate area in this shopping center to locate this use. So the amendment to the concept plan for the pavilion is to remove the cross-access drive that's shown on the concept plan in the front here between lots 1A and 1B. And the staff report goes into the reasons and the rationale the applicant has provided with regards to why they're requesting to remove that one cross-access there, primarily based on the way the site is proposed to be designed as far as the specific entrance and exit and safe traffic circulation for the use. Also because the south side there is going to be designated for vehicle service and cleaning area, and you'll have people outside of their cars, and so being able to limit additional cut-through traffic going in that area. So they are requesting that one cross-access be removed, but the property is still accessed from an additional cross-access drive to the rear that provides cross-access, internal access to the other lots in the pavilion without having to access the arterial roadway. So with that, staff is recommending approval and is here to answer any questions, and the applicant is also here to answer any questions.
Okay, so if I'm looking at this picture that's up here, the area that says cross access to remain, that's still like in green, but we got a black arrow going in. That is a road going into the property though, correct?
They would, if this is approved, they would, right now, the pavement just ends here because
Oh.
it was vacant.
I got you.
The plan was always to extend it when this lot would get developed. So they would extend the existing pavement that's there to then provide that access drive-in.
So basically, these are one way in, one way out.
Yes.
Okay. All right, questions of staff. Stan, I'll start with you. Anything?
No, nothing here.
Newton?
No, it's just
Johnny?
You got quiet staff today. No questions.
I was a little confused about the in and out, but I got it now.
Okay.
Because you didn't put it in green or gray.
I'm good.
Bo?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, no, I don't have a problem with this, and I think the pavilion definitely needs some activity, and obviously car washes and apartments are the thing that's going on right now in storage units, so. All right, so do we need to hear from the applicant? Steve, you got anything you want to say? You don't get paid unless you get up here to the microphone.
Steve Schlossberg, Splash Car Wash. You know, we're excited about the opportunity to add another car wash. I don't know if you all have had an opportunity to try out the one that we built on Herbert Street, the corner of Herbert and Nova Road, but it'll be a very similar model to that. It's an express wash versus a full service wash. That area out there on the west side of town is an area that is not as easy to get to for our customers. So this is an idea that we had to try and get out on the west side where obviously all the new development is. A lot of people say, why are we going to put another car wash in Port Orange, right? I mean, that's a question that I get. But that's an area out there that I think is still a good area to have this type of facility so people aren't having to drag all the way down to Herbert Street to get the car washed. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But that's kind of our logic in
Bo,
doing this.
anything?
Yeah, how do you determine that buffing brush at the end of the tone? Sometimes it works and
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't.
You know what? That's a tricky little thing. It's a weighted system.
Yeah.
And so depending on, you know, some adjustments that you got to constantly make on that thing, it won't come down all the way. So that's something we're actually going to probably switch that brush out to a different.
That's at another meeting.
different brand.
Bo, okay.
But yeah,
There'll be an amendment.
we've heard that before. Believe
You
me.
got anything? Tom?
No, I'm good.
Anybody? No. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, so anybody from the audience want to speak to it?
From
Is this a
the
legal meeting?
massive amounts of public.
Here's an investor into Port Orange who's now opening his third facility within our city. He's making great strides to help improve the city with the one that he's put down there, and you got some improvements going to the one on Dunlawton. And again, I appreciate the opportunity for you to come to our city and help out that area. That area that pavilion needs some help, and again, at the same time, I think that it's probably something that we could use out there. But with that being said, would you call the roll?
Bobo Femi,
Yes.
Thomas Jordan.
Yes.
John Junko,
Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
Stan Schmidt,
Yes.
Maria Mills Bennett.
Yes.
Lance Green.
Yes. Thank you. All right, moving right along to commissioner comments. Bo, I'll start with you.
I'm
Anything?
happy.
Tom?
Yeah, thanks, staff. Appreciate all the work you guys do. That's all I had.
Good reports.
Maria?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Johnny?
I'm fine.
Bo? Newton?
I'm happy.
Stan, man?
Oh, good.
I just want to say that I watched the council meeting regarding the River Yard project. Very happy to see where it was going and the excitement that surrounded that thing. I think it's going to be, I can't wait. And I think the staff on that one did a great job to bring a really, really big project forward to the city. And again, I can't be more excited. I think our staff just did a great job on that one. I want to commend them on that. So I am interested to know, Tim, come on up.
Tim thought he was going to get away.
I want to know what's going on under the bridge, if anything, because again, I'm just disappointed to see where we are with the
Millie's.
yeah, vacant property. What's going on down there at
With where
Millie's?
Millie's was gonna be.
Nothing?
Nothing we heard. We basically know that the property owners basically are still working on a plan, but we have not been updated on that one yet. But the Millie's thing is gone, not happening there, and the
So
current
sad.
property owners are looking to do something there, but as of right now, they're still in the planning stages and haven't provided us anything then.
You know, because it's disappointing, because I know we talked about this being a destination location and us trying to put in a big plan to this, and I was talking to the senator the other night at some other function and about the decrepit boats that are sitting out just off our shores of both sides of Port Orange Bridge, and that's a different subject, but at the same time, I'm like, man, something needs to happen there, because it is an opportunity being missed, and we went to great lengths to help them, and nothing's going on.
Right, well, I think too that we've basically helped them, and that help is still there in terms of the setback, or in terms of the parking there, which the current owners plan to utilize then. I think basically they had to regroup. They were in basically partnership with the one group. They had to basically get out of that and then regroup and come back with a new design then. So I think basically it just takes time. Along with everything, you know, we do like the Down Under plan that we did for that one.
Yeah.
We get that plan adopted, but you're not going to see trucks and stuff like that going on for a couple of years, because what we have to do is we have to get grants, we have to get funding for it, got to do the plans, get the permits in. There's a lot of work that has to be done behind the scenes that no one sees, and kind of people think nothing's getting done, but there's a lot of work being done.
No, and I get that,
So
man.
that's what we're working on with that.
But nothing on that
No,
property.
but the
that-
property owners were basically into the Down Under plan. They were very active in that, and basically, you know, worked on that because they felt that that plan helps move their business forward to basically redevelop that site then. So, you know, I basically, you know, we can double check with them to see what their status is, but they still plan to bring something. And I think basically as we continue to work with the Down Under plan, get grants and make small steps in there.
I constantly
that might look
defend the city, because everybody goes, oh, the city of Port Orange did something. The city of Port Orange, I'm like, no, you
Mhm.
need to stop. Stop it,
Absolutely.
okay, because that's not the case, you know.
Nope,
but-
we got a timeline to prove that's totally
Yeah.
false.
All right, thanks for everything. All right, you got any
but-
comments?
Ron, yeah.
You got anything for us besides the Aldi?
No, that's it.
Yeah. Staff comments, anybody? Public comments, nobody? All right, motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Nope.
Thank you.
Second.
Cool. Thanks. Was this illegal?